The Cold War between me and Sophia Young had dragged on for nearly 2 months. She'd gone public with her engagement, flaunting it like a victory flag. People around me expected a sign maybe I'd lash out, spiral, lose control like before, but instead, I smiled and wished her well, genuinely, and just as I turned to leave, she stopped me. Her voice carried that old sharpness. "Daniel Wilson, this whole pretending you don't care thing, it doesn't suit you. Carefully might just end up breaking your own heart." I didn't look back. A few weeks later, late at night, I got a call. She was drunk. Her voice was slurred, familiar, fragile. "I was just playing around with him. It's over. Can you come back?" Before I could answer, the woman beside me gently took the phone from my hand. "Sorry," she said calmly. "He's with me now, and he has someone to be responsible to." A while back, I had picked out a watch for Sophia's sleek design with a star trail dial, something thoughtful, something I'd never get the chance to give her. But that day, I still found myself outside her apartment, watch in hand, heart unsure. I was just about to knock when voices drifted through the window. "I'm getting engaged," she said. My heart stumbled. For a second, I let hope creep in. Maybe it was me. Inside, I heard cheers and laughter. Someone said, "Finally making it official. 10 years, it's about time." Another joked, "Daniel's such a great guy. You better lock him down." But then her voice cut through it. "All cool, sharp, you misunderstood. I'm not talking about Daniel. My fiancé is still doing his masters. He's upright, simple, pure. Don't make things weird for him." Silence. I stood outside, pressed against the wall, her words echoing inside me like tiny knives. Bright, pure, upright, each one slicing a piece off the man I used to be. And when I finally looked up, I saw him through the half-open window. A young man, untouched by the world. Gentle eyes, a quiet strength. He was everything she described, and everything I wasn't anymore. Suddenly, the watch in my hand felt like a joke. Time, no matter how beautiful, didn't belong to me anymore. I still went inside. "I heard you're getting married," I said, holding out the watch. "I picked this out for you, wishing you lifelong happiness. And someone to grow old with." She blinked. I smiled, calm, detached. Then I walked into the bedroom we once shared, our clothes still hanging. Her hand-picked outfits still in the closet, but I didn't take a thing. Only grabbed 2 summit tickets from the desk. I had planned to toss them. Now maybe I'd go. As I pulled my suitcase into the living room, only Sophia and her fiancé remained. He looked at me with suspicion. Sophia led him away, then turned back, toward me, alone again. "You're unusually calm today," she said. "Aren't you going to fight for me?" I looked at her, the tiniest smile playing on my lips. "You made your choice. I'm just respecting it." She scoffed. "What, trying to play hard to get now?" I held her gaze. "You know me. I'd rather break than bend." And I walked. Behind me her voice followed. "Daniel, don't play this game too long. You might not like how it ends. Aren't you afraid I'll really marry him?" I didn't turn around. "Then I wish you all the happiness in the world." That night, my phone buzzed with one last message from her. "Don't take the act too far. You won't know how to stop it." She thought I was bluffing, that I couldn't really leave her, but she never knew the whole story. 10 years ago, my life had been ripped apart, drugged, trapped, photographed by strangers. My pain, my shame, smeared across campus screens like gossip fodder. Whispers turned to shoves. Then one night, in a dark alley, just when it was about to go too far, Sophia appeared. Like a scene from a movie. My savior. She used her family's power to clean up the mess. And from that moment, I followed her. Devoted, grateful, eventually in love. But that trauma left its mark. Physical touch became a boundary I couldn't cross, except with her. She liked that. She said it made her special. Until we were finally intimate, and I didn't react the way she wanted. I saw it then, the flicker of doubt in her eyes, disappointment, and slowly, her pride in being the only one turned into disdain. That was when she started pulling away. She blamed me for the way I was, but she never once asked why. So maybe, in her eyes, I stopped being pure a long time ago. I put up a post, just a casual status. "Anyone want to join me for the tech summit in Donghai tomorrow? Got VIP seats." The comments rolled in fast. Mostly regrets. Everyone was busy. One friend spammed me with a dozen messages. "Bro, business trip, back next Monday." Wait, wasn't this the thing you were gonna do with Sophia Young? As I scrolled through the replies, a private message popped up, quiet, unexpected. "Daniel, I'm in Donghai for work too. Let's go together." I paused. It was Grace Miller. Her name alone tugged something loose inside me. The image came to mind, tall, graceful, determined. The girl from my childhood neighborhood. She used to be the older sister I'd trail around during summers in the countryside. The one who let me carry her on my back when she got tired. The one I declared I'd marry when I grew up. She'd flown back from overseas once just to check on me when I was struggling. But I was too closed off then, and slowly, we lost touch. The last time we connected was 5 years ago, when Sophia's company nearly collapsed, and I went looking for help. Grace was already a rising star head of a tech firm, sharp, accomplished, but we hadn't spoken since. Now here she was. We made dinner plans before the summit, but work delayed her, so she sent her assistant to pick me up, and when I arrived at the restaurant, she was just stepping out of a sleek business car, flanked by two women who looked every bit the part of high-powered executives. But then her eyes met mine, and she smiled on just like that. Time folded in on itself. Little Daniel, long time no see. She was the only one who ever called me that. I smiled back, and for a second, it was like nothing had changed. Later, just 40 minutes before the summit, my phone pinged. A friend request from Sunnyboy. The note said, Sophia Young asked me to add you. I hesitated, then accepted. A video came through. The screen was dim, but I knew that silhouette anywhere. Sophia, swirling a drink in her hand, her voice slicing through the noise behind her. I know I can't blame him completely, but honestly, it still haunts me, especially him. Who knows what really happened that night? Maybe he's just pretending. I could never marry someone like that. Her tone was ice, detached, like she was talking about a stranger, like the 10 years we spent meant nothing. My hand shook. I couldn't hold the phone steady. Someone brushed past me and it fell to the floor. I bent down to pick it up, but the tears came first. Silent, unstoppable. I squatted there, just crying. Eventually I pulled myself up, breath shaky. That's when Grace appeared, holding something in her hands, a star projector. I saw this in the exhibition area, she said softly. Thought you might like it. She handed it to me, and I noticed she had one too. Confused, I asked, you got the same one? My voice cracked from crying, my eyes red. But she didn't ask. She just smiled and placed her hand gently over my eyes. It's a limited edition pair. I don't want anyone else having the same one as you, not even a little projector. Some moments just fall into place without warning. They don't ask permission. They just arrive. At the summit, a camera caught that exact moment, her lips brushing mine, soft gasps rippling through the crowd. The world blurred into a dream. And when we found ourselves in the penthouse suite of Donghai's finest hotel, with the city's neon lights dancing through glass walls, her kiss became a whisper across my skin. But just when I was about to lose myself in her warmth, I pulled back. Grace, wait, I couldn't do it, because no matter how much I wanted to, I still felt filthy inside, not just metaphorically. That kind of dirt stays in your bones. A decade ago, I was cornered on campus, drugged, helpless, mocked, torn apart by cruel hands. If Sophia hadn't shown up that night, I might have never made it back. I thought of her as my savior, the one who saved me, the one I owed everything to. Even when she hurt me, even when she cheated, I never walked away. I couldn't until she brought that boy home and called him clean, pure. That's when I knew she had always seen me as tainted. Grace didn't press. She just held me, wrapped her arms around me and stayed, letting me breathe again. And in that quiet, broken moment, I whispered, Grace, I'm sorry. I thought I could leave it all behind, start over, be someone new, but some shadows cling too tightly. And I guess, to someone like me, those scars must look like shame. After saying that, I couldn't even look at Grace. Just stared out at the glittering city lights, pretending to be somewhere else. Daniel Wilson, look at me. Her voice was calm, but it cut through the silence. She cupped my face in both hands, grounding me. The filth was never on you. It's on them, their twisted hearts, their ugly judgments. That doesn't belong to you. Her eyes weren't filled with pity, but something far softer, something I hadn't seen in a long time. I wanted so badly to believe her, but the bitterness it was still there. I nodded slowly, almost to myself. I get it, logically, but prejudice, it's like this giant wall. You can scream all you want, but no one hears you on the other side. And me, I feel like I've been stuck behind that wall my whole life, never once touching the sunlight. She didn't flinch, just leaned in, her forehead resting gently against mine. I'm staying, Daniel. Just like when we were kids. Whether it was chasing fireflies or watching stars, I was always right behind you. And you never let me fall. Remember what I told Grandpa? She whispered, with a soft, almost teasing smile. I said I wasn't afraid of anything, because I had you. And right then, she kissed me light as air, warm as starlight, right on my brow, like she was trying to kiss the pain away. Like she could erase everything ugly I ever believed about myself. You're the one who always said you'd marry me one day, she said softly. I never forgot. The next morning, my phone buzzed. Sophia Young again. Messages I didn't open. Messages I didn't plan to. She never reached out after that, until 5 days later, when the headlines were all about her engagement to that graduate student. Big wedding, flashy, everyone was talking about it. Even I got an invitation, straight from Sophia. Daniel, send me your new address. I want to send you the invite. I didn't reply. I was too busy watching Grace Miller standing barefoot on the balcony, still in her nightrobe, leading a video meeting like a queen with a war to win. Then, suddenly, she turned. Our eyes met, and she smiled. Something in me softened. I walked up, lowered my head, and whispered, Grace Miller, kiss me. The phone buzzed again, Sophia's wedding invitation, lighting up the screen. But that glow just lit up Grace's face as she pulled me close. And without a word, she took my hand and led me toward the bedroom. Half a month later, I was back in Beijing. A few old friends had planned a quiet dinner. No one dared mention Sophia until she walked in. No warning. Just walked in like a storm, dragging a chair and sitting right beside me. Her face was unreadable. The room froze. Nobody moved. Then she spoke cold-clipped. So this is it. I show up and suddenly I'm the outsider. The host fumbled. Sophia, come on. We just didn't expect. She cut him off. Daniel Wilson, you say something. Her gaze drilled into me, but I had nothing left to give. A friend tried to speak up and she hurled a wine glass at him. Everyone jolted. Sophia, what the hell? Someone snapped. She stood suddenly, chair screeching behind her. I don't care if it makes me crazy, she shouted. You think I wanted to be unreasonable. You think I asked for this. But I sat there. Still, all her chaos didn't touch me anymore. Not after what I'd let go of. Not after who I'd found. She stared at me, breathing hard, and slammed something onto the table. A wedding invitation. You'd better show up, she said. I looked at it, then looked at her, and I smiled. Sure, I'll be there. Her face turned to stone. Daniel Wilson. You've always been this stubborn. Let's see if you regret it. The party broke up fast after that. People scattered. I stepped outside, and there she was. Grace Miller, wearing something casual now, seated in the lounge with quiet poise. So elegant, so sure of herself, even just waiting. She walked up. My friends were frozen, eyes darting between us. Without a word, she untied the silk scarf from her neck and wrapped it around mine. Her fingers lingered. It gets chilly at night. Don't catch a cold. Then she leaned in a little. Dinner go, okay. Got any plans after this? Her voice was warm, like always, and that made my face burn again. I tried to play it cool. Nah, just heading home. Grace smiled gently. I'll get the car. Wait here. She nodded politely at my stunned friends, then walked off. The moment she disappeared around the corner, the whispers exploded. Daniel, who was that goddess? She's so kind. So into you, is that Grace Miller? But Grace Miller, and honestly, in that moment, I didn't even know how to answer, because some stories don't come with labels. They just feel right. I didn't know how to explain her, so I gave the simplest answer. She was my childhood neighbor, like an older sister. We lost touch, but reconnected recently. It wasn't a lie, but clearly, no one at the table believed me. They just exchanged those knowing smiles. Then one friend sighed. Honestly, I always thought you and Sophia would be the first among us to get married. That single sentence landed. Like a quiet blow, the unsaid part hurt more than the words, and I heard it every ounce of it. There was a time I believed Sophia Young and I would grow old together. But sometimes, the beginning is already the mistake. She must have heard about Grace somehow. That night, her name lit up my screen calling. I answered. Her voice was laced with wine and venom. No wonder you were so cold today. You've climbed to higher branches now, haven't you? I didn't even need to see her to know she was gritting her teeth, staring out at the glowing city. I replied, my private life isn't your concern anymore. Sophia, we're over. She let out a dry, bitter laugh. Is this some kind of game? You think parading another woman around will change my mind? When did you get so childish? Daniel. Her words pulled me right back through 10 long years. From college to corporate life, we were together. While everyone else settled down, she never even wanted to talk about marriage. And after that incident 3 years ago, the rumors never stopped. About her, about other men. We fought, cooled off, almost broke up over and over. And yet, every time, I chose to stay, chose to compromise. Until one winter, I asked about marriage. That simple question started our longest silence. In the end, she chose someone else. And fate handed me someone new. Back in my apartment. The soft glow of a starry night projector spun across the ceiling. I smiled faintly. Sophia, this isn't about games. We're done. There won't be a sequel. Please stop watching my life from afar. I hung up, switched off my phone as I stepped away from the window, arms wrapped gently around me from behind. Little Daniel, why are you out here half naked, trying to catch a cold? I turned. Her kiss met me halfway, warm, comforting, like a shelter. After the breakup, I decided to leave Beijing. I'd only stayed for Sophia. Now, I had no reason to remain. While packing, a new email pinged. I thought it was work. Early dead. But when I opened it, my world tilted. Photos. Me bound to a chair in a lab. My clothes torn. Another photo raining. I was on the lab floor, surrounded, hands reaching for me. Just looking at them made the room spin. I collapsed. It was me. It was that night. The one I had buried so deep, my fingers trembled as I called her. Sophia, the photos, they're back. She answered calmly, too calmly. I know, I sent them to you this morning. Someone emailed them to me anonymously. Said they'd be in touch again. My heart sank. The nightmare had returned. I panicked, but she stayed composed. Daniel, we don't know who has them. If we act impulsively, they could leak. That would be catastrophic. She adjusted her glasses and looked at me serious. Steady. I want to go to the police, I said, eyes darting to my computer. If they sent them to us, they might have sent them elsewhere. I want this person gone. I want those photos gone. Tears slipped down my face without permission. Sharp, hot, relentless. She reached for me, voice gentle. Don't be afraid. I've already hired someone to trace them. It's a blackmail attempt. I'll pay whatever it takes to end this. I won't let anyone hurt you again. Her words were like an echo from another time. Firm, soft, protective. For a moment, I wanted to let her carry the weight again, but I couldn't. Thank you, Sophia, I said, gently stepping back. But we're not together anymore. You have a fiancé. I'll handle this myself. She froze, then anger burst through. Why are you being so stubborn? I've always been the one to protect you. Why can't I do that now? If it's because we broke up, we can fix that. We can start over. And then she cupped my face. She looked at me with a face I once knew so well, yet in that moment, it stirred no warmth in my heart, only disbelief. I stepped back, gently pushing her hands away. Sophia Young, this kind of joke. It's not funny. You're engaged. But she didn't flinch. I'm not joking. I'm serious. Daniel, all these years, I haven't truly loved anyone else. My heart's always been with you. Her voice trembled with sincerity, eyes searching, mine for a crack of hope. The engagement, it was just to make you jealous. She meant every word. I could see it. She even offered to fix everything to make the photos disappear, if I just came back to her. But I didn't. I couldn't. I turned her down, and this time she didn't argue. No dramatic scenes. She just left. Later that night, back at my place, I forced myself to open my laptop. I needed to check my inbox, just in case. That's when I saw another message. Cold. Cruel. I heard you've got a new girlfriend. Wonder how she feel when she sees these photos. I'm looking forward to it. My heart stopped. Knew about Grace. I nearly forgot how to breathe. My first instinct wasn't to fight or scream. It was panic, desperation. I couldn't let her see them. Not her, not Grace. I tried everything, typed like mad, sent replies, begged the silence. Behind the screen, no response. I picked up my phone to call her, to warn her, but my thumb hovered over her name. I couldn't press it. I just scrolled through our chat. Again and again. It was her birthday today. We were supposed to go to dinner. She wanted me to meet her friends. I had bought a new suit, styled my hair, even rehearsed what I'd say. And now, I sat there, numb, realizing maybe someone like me was never meant to have sunshine. Maybe I was always meant to live in the shadows. But just as I was drowning in that darkness, Grace walked through the door. Panicked, breathless, she ran in, eyes wild with fear. Her eloquence gone, just raw emotion now. She stopped dead in her tracks. Daniel, please step away from there. I looked down and realized I had been standing right in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. One more step, and I stepped back instantly, my feet hitting the carpet. She exhaled like she'd been holding her breath forever and rushed to me, throwing her arms around me. Do you know how scared I was? No matter what happens, you have to live. Daniel, if something happened to you, I'd fall apart. Her tears landed on my shoulder, soaking straight into my heart. A heart that had felt like dry earth until that single drop brought it back to life. Later, we sat on the couch. She was calm now, but her eyes were fierce. Let's get married. I froze. That wasn't what I expected. Grace, no, you can't be serious. You're brilliant. You deserve someone better. I'm not worthy of you. But she cupped my face and looked right into me like no one ever had. As long as it's you, Daniel, you're worth everything. Her eyes were galaxies. I could have drowned in them. But just as I leaned into that comfort, those cursed photos flashed in my mind and the fantasy shattered. I pulled back, my voice shaky. Grace, I know, she said, before I could finish. I know all of it, and it changes nothing. But your family, I don't care what they think. I told her everything. About the new email, about Sophia's idea to pay the sender off. But I didn't want to be chained anymore to fear, to blackmail, to the past. I wanted to be free. Grace didn't hesitate. She stood up and grabbed my hand. Then let's go to the police. Right now. I tried to protest, but she cut me off. Last time, I wasn't there for you. That's my regret. This time, let me stay. Let me face it with you. We reported everything. And when it was over, I thought maybe we'd escape somewhere fancy. Somewhere far away. But Grace had another idea. She took me home. Not hers, mine. Back to the old mountain village where it all began. She looked at me with a face I once knew so well, yet in that moment, it stirred no warmth in my heart, only disbelief. I stepped back, gently pushing her hands away. Sophia Young, this kind of joke. It's not funny. You're engaged. But she didn't flinch. I'm not joking. I'm serious. Daniel, all these years, I haven't truly loved anyone else. My heart's always been with you. Her voice trembled with sincerity, eyes searching, mine for a crack of hope. The engagement? It was just to make you jealous. She meant every word. I could see it. She even offered to fix everything to make the photos disappear if I just came back to her. But I didn't. I couldn't. I turned her down, and this time she didn't argue. No dramatic scenes, she just left. Later that night, back at my place, I forced myself to open my laptop. I needed to check my inbox, just in case. That's when I saw 10 other message. Cold, cruel, I heard you've got a new girlfriend. Wonder how she feel when she sees these photos. I'm looking forward to it. My heart stopped. They knew about Grace. I nearly forgot how to breathe. My first instinct wasn't to fight or scream, it was panic. Desperation. I couldn't let her see them. Not her, not Grace. I tried everything, typed like mad, sent replies, begged the silence behind the screen. No response. I picked up my phone to call her, to warn her, but my thumb hovered over her name. I couldn't press it. I just scrolled through our chat. Again and again. It was her birthday today. We were supposed to go to dinner. She wanted me to meet her friends. I had bought a new suit, styled my hair, even rehearsed what I'd say. And now, I sat there, numb, realizing maybe someone like me was never meant to have sunshine. Maybe. I was always meant to live in the shadows. But just as I was drowning in that darkness, Grace walked through the door. Panicked, breathless, she ran in, eyes wild with fear. Her elegance gone, just raw emotion now. She stopped dead in her tracks. Daniel, please step away from there. I looked down and realized I had been standing right in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. One more step, and I stepped back instantly, my feet hitting the carpet. She exhaled like she'd been holding her breath forever, and rushed to me, throwing her arms around me. Do you know how scared I was? No matter what happens, you have to live, Daniel. If something happened to you, I'd fall apart. Her tears landed on my shoulder, soaking straight into my heart. A heart that had felt like dry earth until that single drop brought it back to life. Later, we sat on the couch. She was calm now, but her eyes were fierce. Let's get married. I froze. That wasn't what I expected. Grace. No, you can't be serious. You're brilliant. You deserve someone better. I'm not worthy of you. But she cupped my face and looked right into me like no one ever had. As long as it's you, Daniel, you're worth everything. Her eyes were galaxies. I could have drowned in them. But just as I leaned into that comfort, those cursed photos flashed in my mind and the fantasy shattered. I pulled back, my voice shaky. Grace, I was once. I know, she said, before I could finish. I know all of it, and it changes nothing. But your family, I don't care what they think. I told her everything. About the new email, about Sophia's idea to pay the sender off. But I didn't want to be chained anymore to fear, to blackmail, to the past. I wanted to be free. Grace didn't hesitate. She stood up and grabbed my hand. Then let's go to the police. Right now. I tried to protest, but she cut me off. Last time, I wasn't there for you. That's my regret. This time, let me stay. Let me face it with you. We reported everything. And when it was over, I thought maybe we'd escape somewhere fancy. Somewhere far away. But Grace had another idea. She took me home. Not hers, mine. Back to the old mountain village. Where it all began. Daniel hadn't stepped foot in that village since his grandfather passed. Not for 3 whole years. And now, as the old dirt road crunched beneath his shoes, the memories came flooding back. Sharp, vivid, like no time had passed at all. After visiting his grandfather's house, Grace led him to hers. Her grandmother had already laid out a table, full of home-cooked dishes, every single one a favorite from Daniel's childhood. Grace teased with mock jealousy, and for a moment, just a moment, life felt untouched by pain. After dinner, her grandmother took Daniel's hand, looking at him with the same kind eyes his own grandfather once had. Daniel, she said, voice soft but steady, I hear you and Grace are together now. His heart skipped then sank. He braced for the usual questions, the judgment, but none came. Instead, her wrinkled hand gently patted his. If she dares to bully you, you come straight to me. I'll sort her out. Grace groaned, half laughing. Grandma, I would never bully anyone. Her grandmother shot her a sharp look, then turned back to Daniel. She's always been stubborn, that girl. But her heart's in the right place. If anything ever hurts you, you come to me. Grandma's got your back. Daniel wanted to explain, say they weren't really together like that, but the words stuck in his throat. And somehow, without meaning to, he leaned into her shoulder. The smell of old perfume, the softness of her cardigan, it all reminded him of the safety he once had. Tears welled up. It had been so long since someone held him like this. Then, her voice broke through the silence. Purity, it's a cage society builds. You don't need to be perfect, Daniel, you just need to live. Really live. And for the first time in a long time, something inside him softened. She smiled, leaned in closer, and whispered like it was a secret. Also, that Grace, she's liked you for years. Her diary's practically a love letter to you. Grace, panicked, jumped in. Grandma. But Daniel saw at her flushed cheeks, her shy smile. And later, back in the city, he found that journal. Page after page, it was all there. His name, his memories, his struggles. Even the little things, his first science competition, his nightmares. The day his grandfather died, she had written it all down, quietly worrying about him from afar. She had always been there, and looking at her now, pretending to be focused. On emails, ears still glowing, read he finally understood. He stood behind her, wrapped his arms around her shoulders. Grace, when all this is over, will you marry me? She barely had time to react before he kissed her. And she, flustered, but fierce, pulled back just enough to whisper, it's a promise. You better not run away now. But just as warmth filled the room, reality barged in. The phone rang. It was her. Sophia Young. Grace answered, and on speaker, Sophia's voice spilled out cloying, desperate. Daniel, everything else was just noise. You're the one I want. Can't we start over? Daniel glanced at Grace. Her brows furrowed. Cold resolve flickered in her eyes. She leaned down, brushing her lips against his ear with playful spite, then bit his earlobe gently. It was intimate, sharp, claiming. And suddenly, Sophia's voice felt like a bitter echo from a life he no longer wanted. Sorry, Sophia, he said softly. Someone else truly values me now. There was silence, then disbelief. Who are you, Daniel? Are you playing games again? Does she even know what kind of past you're hiding? Before she could spit more venom, Grace snatched the phone. I'm his girlfriend, she said coolly. His future. And you're nothing but the past. Then she added, voice like ice, my name is Grace Miller. Remember it. Click, end of call. Daniel opened his mouth, unsure what to say. But Grace pulled him close again. I'm not letting go. Not this time. His eyes burned. Grace, thank you. But the story didn't end there. When Daniel walked into the police station and saw Sophia Young, really saw her, he froze. She was once his light, his hope, his escape. But now, he realized, she was also the one who had thrown him to the wolves. The investigation confirmed it. Sophia hadn't done the deed herself, but she knew. From the beginning, she knew everything. She didn't stop it. In fact, she paid to preserve it, bought the camera, distributed the photos, all to create a savior narrative, make Daniel fall, then play hero, the ultimate manipulation, the perfect power play. And when that didn't win his heart, she tried to use the pain she caused to buy her way back in. It was never love. It was obsession dressed in silk. And Daniel, he was just the prize. Daniel, you have to believe me, I only did it because I loved you too much. Her voice cracked, eyes wild with desperation, as Sophia Young finally broke down in front of everyone. The courtroom fell silent, stunned by her sudden, frantic confession. She blamed everything, every twisted thing she'd done in love. But I just stood there, remembering the last time she called me, begging to start over, swearing she still loved me like crazy. And honestly, it was pathetic. Did she really think saying I love you could undo everything? As if those words could erase the nights I couldn't sleep, the moments I stood on the edge, questioning if life was even worth it anymore. I looked at her, anger, no pity, just cold clarity. Your love, I said, makes me sick. And in that moment, it all came crashing down. 10 years of history, 10 years of lies dressed up as affection. She lashed out again, louder now, panicking. How can you say that? If it weren't for me, you would have been dead. I saved you. You owe me your life. But I'd had enough. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have needed saving at all. I cut her off, my voice low but final. I didn't want her excuses, didn't want her redemption. The more grateful I once was to her, the deeper the disgust now ran. I turned my back, leaving her words to rot in the silence behind me. I believed justice would do what it needed to. Then came the news. 2 months after Grace and I got married, Sophia had gotten into a fight in prison. A fall, a head injury. Something shifted in her mind. They said she lost her grip on reality, just kept whispering my name like a ghost stuck in time. Her family reached out, begging me to visit, hoping maybe, just maybe, seeing me would bring her back. But I didn't go. I COULDN single quotes, TS. She was once a part of my life, but the scars she left were deeper than any affection I'd ever felt for her. So I didn't offer comfort, not even a sliver of it, because now, I only want to be Daniel, whole, healing, and shining, but only for one.